Well, it's going to be a video on how to replace the variable speed trigger on this drill, which is DeWalt DWD 110. It's type 1. There's actually type 1 and type 2. I tried soaking it with electromotive cleaner. It kind of worked a little while. Then I took the actual switch out. I soaked it in 50% vinegar. Maybe it was corrosion. Now, I would have actually, if I would have known, this switch, here's this new switch, right? It's part number 649381-00. Maybe that's the part number, or maybe that's the part number SA0212A3. I don't know what, it's one of these part numbers, but you can just go on DeWalt's site or find it. But I didn't know that switch was going to be made in China, and I was like, I wouldn't have got it. I would have, if I would have known that, I would have taken this switch out and soaked it in electromotive cleaner, just dunked it for like 48 hours, working it back and forth. That probably would have cleaned it. That probably would have worked, but speed out as it may, I already got the switch. So we got these torque screws. I use this. It's a kind of a fast ratchet type driver. It's pretty quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 4, 6, 7 screws. We'll take those out right now, and we'll be able to remove this switch. Okay, so the cover's off. I always like to work on a rug or something like that so things don't roll around. Or you can put them in a little plastic thing so you don't lose nothing. Just take this off. You notice how it's crimped all around here. You got to watch how these wires are on here, and then you just pull them off. There's 4 wires. You got a yellow, that's black. Doesn't even look like black in the camera. There it is. That's black. Yellow on the right, black on the left. Now on the bottom, there's it's actually a white wire. It's got some black insulation, but a white and then a red. So take those off. They just pull off. You just pull off. You just pull them off like that. Sometimes you want to knock them off with a little knife or something, rather than pulling on the end of the wire. This way you don't break the wire. Just pull them off, and then we'll take this side off, and then we'll replace that switch. The other thing is, you also want to, I already greased in here. I also put some extra grease in here. I clean this up. And this was like marine grade chassis grease I put in there to keep these, because that stuff will wear out after a while. But it seems like this this variable reversible switch is a common fail point on these damn drills. So I'm going to keep the old one, and since this damn thing's made in China, what I'm going to do is I'm going to soak it in electromotive cleaner. Just let it sit in a container closed, leave it in there, put it away. I'll bet you if this one ever fails again, I can put that one back in and it'll work. Okay, so I took the wires off of this switch and I got it on this switch. The way you do this is, you see the switch is like, this is the position of the switch. You can see it there in the black and the white. You make them sure they're the same way. And they go in these holes right here. There is a little clip inside here. I use this pick, and you move it that way to open up just the interference fit, and it pushes inside. And you move this clip that way, and then it comes out of the hole right here. So that gets it in there. Next, we just put these back in the positions they were, which is, there's a the red and the black are on the top, and the yellow and the white are on the bottom, like the way I'm looking at the switch here. So this yellow goes on that side, the white goes on that side, and the red is the same side as the white, and the black is the same side as the yellow. Okay, so we'll put these back on this, and you're going to make sure everything's tucked in place. Yeah, make sure all these wires are pushed down out of the way. You don't want anything crimping on here when you're putting screws in, when you go to put this cover on. So it should snap down there nice and tight, and we'll screw it down and give it a shot. See if it works. Slow, fast, medium, whatever. Stop that and then go the other way. Well, works fine. I got a feeling if you actually just sunk this in electromotive cleaner, like you took container that was like airtight, you just filled it up with electromotive cleaner, you let it soak in there a few days, I bet you it would work. I have fixed other types of switches like that before on cars that were difficult to find. They were impossible to find unless you got them in a junkyard. I think it's just dirt. You know, that switch is actually $26 plus shipping, depending on where you get it from. So, $5 can of electromotive cleaner might fix it. You know, why keep buying made in China? I didn't realize it's made in China, but that's how you fix it. So, I'm going to keep this old one.